First, I want to talk about Utah because I thought they're in a little bit of a rut, and they pulled out a game against an Oregon State where Oregon State had some key mistakes down the stretch, and I just felt like it knocked Utah right back in the whack because they played fantastic tonight. We just had no answers. Portal was extremely good. When you double team him, he gave up the ball for dunks. I thought Loveridge and Taylor played like seniors and just played lights out basketball with their speed, their quickness, their ball movement, and more importantly, their confidence. We just had no answers for them on the defensive end of the floor. We bounced back in the second half offensively, but the hole was too great. All we did was exchange buckets. We couldn't get any stops, any string of stops whatsoever, and they really controlled the game, even though we scored better in the second half. I thought the students were fantastic. What a great job by our marketing team. What a great job by the students. I thought it was the best crowd we've had since Gonzaga, and unfortunately, we let them down because we did not play tough enough basketball on the defensive end of the floor. We got to play a lot smarter, a lot harder than what we played tonight, especially with that team coming in here on Saturday.
They scored at the rim in their first 4 or 5 possessions, 40 points in the paint. What was going on there?
Well, until I can look at tape, I can't exactly tell you. I mean, we were in man, we were in zone. We couldn't stop them in man, we couldn't stop them in zone. To give up point-blank layups was very disturbing to me. So to say what was happening, the biggest thing is we were very poor at defending the drive all over the floor. I don't think anybody really dug in and really shut down a guy that made up his mind that he was going to drive us. They took us to the hole pretty good the entire game.
How important is Val to your defense at the rim?
You know, he's extremely important, but I still don't want to sit here and say Val is the answer. Yes, he changes the game on that back line, having a shot blocker sitting back there. Obviously, we miss him. But at the same time, when you're 30 feet from the bucket, you shouldn't get driven to point blank. There's something that needs to happen between 30 feet and 15 feet where you can get a guy under control. That's my bigger concern. Val will eliminate some of it, but we're giving up way too many points right now. To be successful in these games. We're playing good enough offensively, but defensively, we've been saying this for the last 3 or 4 or 5 games now. We have got to get better, and we'll just keep working on it.
Is there something you would have liked to have been able to do defensively in the post that you couldn't do with the way they were hitting their three-pointers?
You know, we shut him down last year, and Taylor and Loveridge got loose in the second half and won the game with their three-point shooting. So you can't really double down on the post when they shoot the ball so well, when they're hot like that. You leave yourself out on an island to battle. I think if I look at tape, I would say I'd like to front at the post a little bit more and maybe not give him such a free rein to wheel in there. But it was very difficult to do any stunting against him with the way Taylor and Loveridge and Tucker were shooting the ball.
Coach, when they're having that much success both beyond the arc and in the post, do you try to focus on one area or just the defense as a whole?
Well, in this game, it was the defense as a whole. Obviously, a 2 is much better for you than giving up a 3. But we weren't stopping the 3. We weren't stopping the 2 either. So it was a very frustrating night to feel like you were handcuffed to do anything because you could not defend this team. And they played extremely hard, but I'm not going to give that as the reason. I just don't think we're very good defensively right now.
Josh called this defensive effort soft. Would you agree with that assessment?
I think the whole team's defensive effort was soft. I would definitely agree with it, and we talked about that because what you continue to do is give other teams the tape. And until you change the tape, the other teams are coming at you with the same mentality. Drive this team, go rebound against this team, I'll tough this team. So I thought that's a very good analogy of how we played tonight, and that's on me to get them tougher.
Do you think that's a mentality that this team has had the last 3 or 4 games, or did you just mainly see it today?
I think it's a mentality the program has had. I've seen, and you know, from afar and in getting here and everything else, and it's a mentality we've worked extremely hard to change, and we're just not there yet. And we'll go back to the drawing board on it again because it's very unusual for teams that I've coached to give up points like we're giving up points, and I take the responsibility for that because I've got to get this team mentally and physically tougher. Will it happen overnight? Probably not. Will it help when Val gets back? Probably so, but still we've got to get better as we march through the second half of this, get ready for the second half of this conference. We have to get better. I have to keep in mind again that Utah and Colorado last year, I just felt like we were never in the game at their place. And we beat a Colorado here and had a Utah on the wire here the second time around. So I'm hoping those new guys will understand just how hard they have to play. Unfortunately, they got a game and a team coming here on Saturday that's looking to get a split, and we're going to have to play a lot tougher basketball.